Welcome back to the channel. How's everybody doing? I hope you're all doing great. If this is your first time here, welcome. If not, welcome back. Today I want to talk a little bit about the Plaid Model S, the Plaid Plus. It's been canceled by Tesla, and well, I have some thoughts about it. I think it's a great thing. I think it's a smart decision on Tesla's side. I am recording this off the phone, so excuse the audio for a sec. But realistically speaking, when we're talking about what's happened and this whole cancellation, it's one of the smartest moves Tesla could have done. The dumbest move they could have done is obviously going down the path of even talking about this car as far as it being a possibility, and there was no need for it. There's really no use for the Plaid Plus. I understand where they're coming from. They do some research. It's part of the R&D in many ways, right? And I think that's fine. There's nothing wrong with it. What is a problem, however, is there's no need. I've said this for years. I drive a Model S 100D, plenty of acceleration, plenty of power, plenty of torque. These cars are amazing cars. There's really no need for, the up version of this, such as the performance version. And I think this is kind of what Tesla may have just realized. I've been saying it for, 3 years now on this channel. And I know a lot of people will disagree, but Tesla currently has the Roadster. Obviously, it's not out yet, but I get the feeling that's something that's going to be happening during during the unveiling and everything else right now happening on June 10th. When it's all said and done, Tesla made the right choice here. The Plaid Plus, there really isn't that much more that you're getting compared to just the Plaid. I think Tesla just had the same mentality, kind of what they've always done, which is they have their, long range model, which is an amazing car. I know mine is. And then they kind of wanted to give it like a performance model for whoever wanted to pay more just to have that performance. And so this is, I think, what happened with the Plaid and the Plaid Plus. They had the Plaid and they kind of go, well, we need something, like a performance version of it. So the Plaid Plus was supposed to be that. Realistically speaking, it kind of doesn't make sense. Now, if you look back into all of their Tesla vehicles, especially when you're talking about performance, the one thing that you'll notice, the similarities amongst all of these vehicles, is you have, let's say, the long range, which is what you would prefer to obviously have. You want to have range. And then you have the performance. But all performance vehicles typically have less range than your long range, and you're paying quite a bit more for performance. So what is the issue here? The biggest issue, I think, is the fact that you don't need to have more performance than what these Teslas already give you. A proof of concept, I think, in the beginning was smart. It was a good way to go, but you really no longer need that. These cars at their standard stance, the basic stuff you can buy from Tesla, they are already so much better than what you would normally buy in a gas-powered vehicle, especially with an equivalent price tag. Right now, with Tesla's upcoming event, one of the things I'm expecting to see is more than likely a unveiling of the Model 2, or whatever they decide to call it, the more affordable version, which I know my wife is looking forward to. And I think this is going to be the time where they're going to say, okay, the Plaid Plus didn't make sense simply because there's a limit already being pushed. The acceleration speed, there's physics behind this, but the acceleration speed is already absolutely bonkers when it comes to the Plaid model. And so if you look at that, having the Plaid Plus, you're gonna maybe 0.00 something, it might be faster. There's such a minuscule little change. It's not worth the extra effort. On top of it, I guarantee you it would have been a lot less range as far as just based on previous situations. And you'd be paying a lot more money for a vehicle you really don't need. 99.999% of you who use Teslas, you use them for, well, daily use in a sense. It's not a weekend thing. It's not just a track vehicle. It's something you use daily. And if you're going to use your vehicle 9 out of 10 times to get from point A to point B, road trips, whatever, range does matter for everybody. I mean, why not have the best possible range you can get? Now, that 0.1% of you who will, really go absolutely insane with, hey, let's use, ludicrous mode. Let's use the maximum amount of power that a vehicle can give you. Well, the biggest problem is you're using it at such a small amount. And everybody I talk to who has the performance version, they'll tell you 9 out of 10 times they're just driving the car as a regular car. The performance of anything is kind of idiotic in my mind. You don't need, if you want to buy a race car, buy buy a race car. In this case, if you want a crazy powerful, Tesla, out of this world Tesla, go for the Roadster. You don't need to take your daily driver and turn it into a hypercar. It doesn't make sense. There's no logic behind it. And I think part of what Tesla is doing right now is kind of realizing that too. They know that the Roadster is going to be coming out. The Roadster is an absolutely insane vehicle. And that's truly where you get to see, the actual performance. We're talking the true performance, something you can actually take out on track. And the Plaid is a great family sedan. Now, that being said, the Plaid is not just a family sedan. It is an unbelievably crazy vehicle. Even mine, 2017 Model S 100D, this thing is insane. It really is. And anything beyond this is kind of, well, ludicrous. There's really no point for it. And so I do laugh at people who spend a crazy amount of money for very little additional performance that they would very, very rarely ever use unless they're showing off or doing something stupid. And if you look at your speed limits, you look at your acceleration, all of these things that you have that you can use on a daily basis, your basic model Tesla is more than capable of wiping out half the cars on the road. So again, performance, you're paying more, getting less range, and overall just not getting there. There's really no, the value to what you're getting, it doesn't actually make sense. That being said, I think this is a great learning curve for Tesla. I think they made a little bit of a boo-boo here. They probably never should have actually talked about the Plaid Plus to start with, never should have released it, never should have been an option to buy. That being said, it's not wasted R&D. Obviously, they have done a lot of research on a lot of R&D when it came to the Plaid and the Plaid Plus. And I think, that's how they were able to get the Plaid to where it's going to be. I don't believe what we're seeing right now on as far as the Plaid, that's it. I think, come June 10th, I think the Plaid is actually going to be somewhat of the Plaid Plus type of thing. I think they just realized that they packed in so much into the Plaid Plus is kind of almost irrelevant. And it makes your manufacturing a lot easier too, when you don't have to mess around with, that line to make little changes for a little bit of improvement. Small improvements, incremental improvements should be on things that the drivers you need every day. It should not be silly stuff like, well, I got 0.1 second faster, but I paid 10 grand for it. It doesn't make sense. There's no need. If you go from 2.4 to 1.9, unless you're constantly on a drag strip or unless you're constantly on a racetrack, it absolutely makes no difference for you in the real world. And I think Tesla realized that. They made a boo-boo here. They did definitely. They never should have released the Plaid Plus. This is the way Tesla works, though. We've seen this happen. Tesla is kind of a reactionary company. They kind of make things. They don't wait for next year for anything. They have an idea. They kind of put it in play. So I don't expect this to be the last time that they ever do this. Honestly, I think this is going to happen again and again and again. But this is Tesla's way of doing business. And how people react online currently, well, honestly, I think there's a lot of people who are making a big deal out of this. It's really not a big deal. This is just one of those things that Tesla as a company is growing and they're realizing, wait, we don't need this. On top of it, I think this is also a really good way for them to kind of boost sales of their Roadster. And the reason I say that is because if you think about the Plaid Plus itself had so much to offer already. There really wouldn't have been much of a reason for you to buy the Roadster aside from cock measuring contest, I guess. But So it kind of cannibalizes its own product. So by keeping just a Plaid, and which I think is going to be an insane vehicle to start with, but going beyond that, going to that craziness, that's where they have the Roadster. There's no need to have a car in between. You see this happening with your legacy manufacturers where they have one model of a car and 9 different versions of that model. It's absolutely idiotic. There's no need for it, and that's just my opinion. If you guys agree, please let me know in the comment section. If you disagree, let me know why. That all being said, thank you for watching. I'll catch you guys on the next video. Till then, everybody please drive safe. And if you are using autopilot, pay attention. Remember, you are the driver. And, well, autopilot is just an assistant. All right. Catch you on the next video. Till then, bye.